Hello, FEID reviewers. Thank you again for helping with the FEID process and agreeing to score for this year, April 2017. I've put together a quick screencast so that you have all the directions you'll need so that you can score this year's submissions. You can also find all of the documents you'll need in the Dropbox, and I've provided a shortened link right there on the first slide. I'm going to also attach those documents to the email that I send to you. First, for reviewer groups, you've been placed into 5 groups of 3. Each group will score 10 submissions. We had 50 submissions this year, very successful. And an attempt has been made where possible to include one reviewer who is a member of the college which the submission came from. So for example, if you're from the College of Education, you will score a College of Education submission. We unfortunately didn't have any reviewers from arts or communications, so those two were put into the closest colleges. Here are the reviewer groups, so you can look to see if you're in group 1 through 5. I've also sent this as an attached sheet for you. The due dates. We had the scoring meeting on April 6th, and we worked out a lot of the kinks. Those of you who were unable to attend, you have this screencast, but if you'd still like to come in and speak to me, I'm more than happy to set up a meeting with you. April 10th, this coming Monday, this screencast will be sent to all of you, and the score sheets will also be sent. On April 24th, if you were at the scoring meeting, you'll notice that I actually extended that as I wasn't able to get this out on Friday. I had a little bout of strep throat. So hopefully you'll get this afternoon, but I've extended it to noon on April 24th. Then I need you to send those, I will send, those ranked submissions to the FEC board, and they will approve as many as we have enough funding for. And that I need to send by 5 p.m. on April 24th. The board will send back their approval on the 28th, and we will announce the approval and unfortunately denial to submitters on May 1st. The rubric, as there have been some significant changes from the previous year, there are 8 criteria, and this year we've weighted those criteria, and I want to give a very helpful shout out to Sharon Seidman, who did a lot of work on this revision along with the FDC board on this. So you'll notice that we've weighted some categories more than others. The budget, for instance, is only weighted at 5%, and the problem and objectives and methods and activities are weighted much more heavily. In addition, as high impact practices are our key areas, those are weighted at a total of 20% for both. Going across the rubric, you'll notice that you can rate it strong, satisfactory, or unacceptable. In the strong category, you could give that a 5 or a 4, satisfactory a 3 or a 2, and unacceptable a 1 or a 0. I'm sending out the rubric to you, and this will calculate the weights. You do not need to calculate the weights. So at the scoring meeting, we calibrated, and the first submission that we scored from the previous year was under the title pre-K, and that, when we all calibrated, we came to about a 2 across the board for all of us, some a little lower, some a little higher, but an average of a 2. And what we found was missing were several of the key areas that were required if you look back at the rubric. So it kind of provided a lit review, but not specifically address the problems and objectives. It gave a list of activities, but did not address how those would meet HIPS. It really did not address HIPS really at all, or breadth of student participation in high impact practices. Did not say how it would be assessed, or faculty benefits, or sustainability, and there was no budget. The Hinges application was a much stronger application. On average, we were at about a 4 as a group altogether. It was very well written and had actually done a nice job of putting headings, which were each of the categories for the proposal: problem and objectives, methods and activities, high impact practices, breadth of student participation. Some of the areas where we thought it fell short were in assessment, in that, yes, the assignments were being assessed, but how were you assessing the project as a whole? It did discuss faculty benefits. It did not really discuss sustainability. The person who was submitting did mention that they were a course custodian and that the revisions they were making to the course, they didn't discuss what would happen. They just stated that they were a course custodian. And many faculty didn't know, or many of the reviewers didn't know, that in that college, being a course custodian means that you ensure that all of the other faculty, part-time or full-time, know the changes to the course and what to do with the key assignments. It did have a very strong cost justification. So that was our justification for a 2 or a 4. So for the process of reviewing, you need to make sure that you download your documents. They are, as I said, being attached to the email that I will be sending with this screencast. If you can't find them later, you can also go to the Dropbox. And so just to show you how to go to the Dropbox, you can take this right here and you could copy it, and then you could paste it directly into I already did this. So directly here, if I paste it, this is what it will take me to, and you will find the rubric. So this is just the rubric that you can then save to your desktop. This is the group of submitters. So it has the entire list of 50 submitters, and then here, I'll go ahead and open it. And it shows you, oh, of course not. If I were able to scroll, there we go. Which group these submitters have been placed in so that you know who you are reviewing. And then the last file that's in there, oh, rats. Oh, now I get to paste it. And you can see where I'm going. Is the reviewer group. So that is what you've seen in the screencast already on a previous slide, is your name with which group you've been assigned to. So back to the presentation. You want to save that rubric to your computer so that you have a master. So next you're going to determine your reviewer group, which can be found on the reviewers group spreadsheet, which I just showed you. So you'll know if you're group 1 or 2 or 3 or 5. Then access the spreadsheet of submitters to see who you are reviewing, which is found on the spreadsheet that I just showed you. And then on your rubric, type both the name of the person you are reviewing and your name. Please do that so that in case we have any questions, we can follow back to you and definitely know who it's reviewing, just in case the file isn't named correctly. Next, you're going to score a proposal and name the file in the following manner. So name it the applicant name, so whoever the submitter was, your name, FEID 2017. So for instance, it's Tuffy Titan applicant, Lindsay O'Neill, FEID 2017. Next, save the file in the private Dropbox that we've set up. So this is something new that Dropbox offers that I've just been using. You can set up a Dropbox and provide the link. You could do this in your classes as well. And students can submit, or you will be submitting, but you can't see anything else in that file. So if I look at this, back out to Dropbox, and here's what it will look like. And all you have to do is choose the file from your computer and save it into this file. And then score your remaining submissions and save in the same manner. Just some notes on scoring. Please don't use any half points so that we're all consistent with our scoring. Even give the person a 5 or a 4 or a 3 or a 2 or a 1 or a 0, not a 4.25 or a 3.15, just so it's a little bit more fair to those that are being scored. In addition, on the side of the rubric, I'm going to go ahead and open that as well. We've provided 2 places where you've got space. Wake up. You've got space over here to provide feedback to the applicant. So often if someone is denied or is not granted, they will call in and ask what the feedback was. So by you providing feedback to the applicant, kind of a summary where you felt that they fell short on their proposal, this will aid us when we get those inquiries. And then if you have feedback to the committee, so for instance, you might say, I've scored several, I just realized this is one of the top ones I've seen. Please put special consideration on this proposal. That would be appropriate to put as well on the rubric. And finally, so please add feedback to the applicant. Please add comments to the decision committee. You might say this was okay. If others warrant, give it to them instead. And finally, if you have any questions, you can contact myself at ebowers@fullerton.edu, or you can send an email to the FDC@fullerton.edu, or you can phone us at 5628. Thank you.